Hello, this is Sunil Sunder Raj from the Oradell Sports Round-Up. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Elaina Grenz, a senior forward on the River Dell Golden Hawks varsity soccer team. Once again, Elaina, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hey, congrats, Elaine, on your success on the varsity soccer team. I mean, named to the first team All Bergen County, first team All North Jersey Patriot Division. You were featured, said the record newspaper as the female athlete of the week. Now you've had some time now to like reflect on your success, especially this season, your final year, senior year at Riverdale on the varsity soccer team. I'm just wondering what comes to your mind, Elena.
I mean, I look back on it actually, especially like having it all be over now. It's just like I regret like not doing it my freshman and junior year because I feel like as a whole I would have been like a better player around. But it was like a good experience, obviously, and I enjoy it, and I'm happy that I decided to do it my senior year.
A breakout season, Elena. I mean,
Yeah.
I looked online. I mean, they had you at 23 goals. I mean, when you think of all the hard work you put in, especially coming into this last season, during the summer this past year, I mean, to see how the results paid off, big time for you this year. I mean, just immense success. I mean, it's got to be a great feeling, knowing that you were able to accomplish those goals.
Yeah.
Talk about this team. Said I think 15-4, 6-2 in the Big North Patriot. I'm going to start with All Bergen County, on the second team here. You had midfielder junior Brianna Azevedo, third team Elizabeth Puentes, said third team. And then going to Old North Jersey, Patriot Division first team, Elizabeth also there, Brianna as well. And then midfielder junior Isabella Bagnado. And then second team keeper, a freshman in Casely Ziegler, senior Ryan Berman played the backfield, senior Sarah Vanderbeck midfielder, and senior Evelyn Vidal forward position. Just just an outstanding group. You talk about talent. I mean, when you look at that list and how many players, besides yourself, made all Bergen County and Old North Jersey, I had to ask, what comes to your mind? Just, if you can comment on that,
I
Elena.
mean, as a team, obviously, we are such a group of talented people, and we worked so well together. Because like over the summer, we started practicing together. We didn't really know a lot of people because it was like Brianna and Isabella Bagnato's first year playing high school. So it was like getting to know everybody. We were kind of connecting because we're all really like we know how to play the game. We know the IQ of the game. So we were just doing our thing, and then we started to grow like a friendship as a team, and we started like having each other's backs and like during games and then like during the scrimmages. And you can see that after a while we all started to connect and just become very successful all together, clearly, as you can see. And so yeah, I'm excited because this is like one of the first years I think that Riverdale has been like this great of a team. And obviously we couldn't have been successful as we are as a group of people if we didn't all work together. So it makes me really happy because we still are all friends now. We still all talk now, even though like there was I think 8 or 7 seniors. They're all going to be gone next year.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good that we're all still trying to stay in contact, and like we had such a good friendship all around that it just made the season 10 times better.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. I think the breakdown was 9 seniors, 10 juniors, 2 sophomores, and 1 freshman. I mean, I'm wondering if with this senior group coming into this season, what was the goal? As far as there's always to win a championship, a state championship, but and also conference. But just talk about this senior group and how special they were, and what they meant to you as
So
well.
I've known obviously all of these girls since I was younger. We all used to play like Blackhawks together and like club soccer, and we all been like friends since forever. So it's just like an end of an era to see all of us like be so successful at the end of the year and like be able to like go off now because me and Ryan we're both going to college for soccer now, like far away. And then Erin Maselli, who also was a senior, she's going for lacrosse. So it's like to all see us go like our different ways. It's obviously sad, but
Yeah.
it's just we've come such a long way from being little kids to now. It's like totally paid off everything that we've done together. So
I was looking at, I think you lost your first 2 out of 3 matches, won 9 in a row, lost to Ridgeway in the Bergen County tournament quarterfinals, won your last 5 in a row, before, said dropping, said to Lakeland in the North One Group 2 state play, quarterfinals. I mean, what a roller coaster ride. I mean, can you just talk about just how the season progressed, and you guys were able to string together some really impressive, winning streaks here, Elaina.
Yeah, so like the first game, obviously I got injured because I had to get stitches from the Mawa game. So we ended up losing that game. And
Okay.
then I was out for 2 weeks after that. So the girls did really well. They were winning games. We beat Ramsey for the first time, and it was such like a huge team thing. We all ran on the field. We're all so excited. We're like, that's when like I think it kind of clicks me like, wow, this is gonna be a really good year and we're actually gonna be very successful this year. And then I came back, and then we had the streak, and we started just building up like such a better like as a team. So we beat Ramsey, and then we came back from a 2-0 lose to Mawa. We came back, beat them 4-2, and it was just like so all this adrenaline. And then obviously we went to like the counties, and we got like to the quarterfinals, and then quarterfinals in states. And it was just like, wow, like we can really do this. Because in the beginning of the year, we did scrimmages against Park Ridge and Hawthorne. There was an article that Coach Herm told us about, and it was like an article, and it was like match to watch was Park Ridge versus Hawthorne at River Dell. So it was just like we just got totally dissed completely on that match to watch. So it was just like we knew that we had to go out there and make a statement because we were definitely the underdog this year. And so we knew that we had to come out and just make a big statement. I think we did. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, you mentioned head coach Adam Herman, assistant coaches Nicole Valerani, Cindy Talty, team manager Lissy Krodheim, and athletic trainer Angela Sturzer. Talk about some of those people and what they meant to you, said these past couple of years here.
Miss V, she's new this year, so
Okay.
it was nice to get to like know a new face. And Miss V, so she's so sweet, and she helped so much with the varsity team because she coached the freshman sophomore JV team.
Okay.
So she had them always come up and do the ball people for us, and would always happily give us players to play and like get the games. So it was just really good to get such a good relationship with Coach V because we all end up having such a good relationship with her. Herm, obviously, he's been around, so we all know her. We have an interesting relationship with her, and we always joke with him and stuff, so it's fun. And then Coach Talty, I've known her since I was younger because she used to coach aside with my dad, and he used to coach at River Dell before Herm took his spot. So I've known Coach Talty for a while, so I have a good relationship with her. And obviously Mr. Nelson too, since he's been around my dad. And then Lizzie's a girl in my grade, so I'm also really good friends with her. So
it's great.
Everyone around, we all know each other, and we get along really well. So
I wanted to ask you that big win over Northern Highlands. Said in the first round there, you scored 2 goals, and then you scored in 4 straight games. Scored 3 goals twice. I think 4 goals against Cliffside Park. I mean, some of the numbers were just amazing. Just talk about, I mean, being in that type of zone and, so focused, laser focused, and being able to, tally those, goals. I mean, what is that feeling like? I'm just, walk people through, when you're on the field, and it said, as you're approaching that, or even from far outside, just describe those moments, Elaina.
It depends on usually like the game. If it's like a bigger game, like the Northern Highlands game, obviously we're all kind of nervous because it was obviously Northern Highlands are a very good team. So we always knew we had to bring our A game coming into that game. So obviously I obviously couldn't score without the rest of the team being on their A game too. So just like connecting very well, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like adrenaline, obviously. Because everything's happening so fast all at once, and like you need to get the ball off your foot as fast as possible if you try, because there's going to be so much pressure on you. And I don't know, like usually like when I score, I don't like try and aim. I just like kick it, it goes in. Like I kicked with my right foot. I'm not a righty, I'm a lefty, so kicking with my right foot on the second shot was completely like it was like so unexpected to happen. So it just made the win 10 times better that I have, everything just work out so perfectly, and we all played amazing that game. So it was and just like on the field, obviously play your game, know the IQ of the field, trying it open for your players, and always try and look for other people, of course, obviously if they have a better angle than you, but it's just like, it works out the way it works out, like,
yeah, no, I agree. Hey, you guys erupted, said against Newton the first round, 8-2, victory. Talk about that. Scored 2 goals, had an assist. But as you mentioned, it was a team effort. I mean, Evelyn Bedell, I mean, the goal and 3 assists. Emma Concan and Melissa Goldstein, goal and assist, along with Ryan Berman, Sandra Vanderbeck, and Ava Ebner. Can you just talk about that? I mean, as a collective group, I mean, everybody is contributing, Sid, to a win in that fashion. That must have just, again, felt just incredible, just being able to come up with that type of performance, Elaina.
I think something that was really interesting about this year is that I think everybody either had a goal or an assist, like everyone on the varsity roster, someone had some sort of contribution to the field.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that hasn't happened in recent years. So I think it was such a good achievement to have that at least everybody got a chance to shine at one point, which was really good.
Yeah.
And against the Newton game, I think we were prepared for the Newton game, and we scored. I think that was the game that we scored like the first 2 goals in like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
So it's just like we accomplished so many things that we never thought we could this year, which was so like exciting as a unit for the team. And I think it just helped our like effort to go forward and be like, we can do this, and like use everything that we've happened in the past and been like using it as like motive to just play harder. So
yeah, I know it's never easy. I've interviewed a bunch of seniors. When you play your final game and you take off that uniform, that jersey for the last time, it is very emotional. I'm wondering, putting that 17 jersey on, that Golden Hawks, said jersey on, what does that represent to you? What has it represented to you personally, Elaina?
I mean, honestly, it didn't have that. It had a big effect on me, like losing the team, but it wasn't really about the jersey because I didn't play for that long, which sucked.
Yeah.
But I know like some girls on the field, like Evelyn, she had that number 10 jersey on for like, I think 3-4 years with that jersey. Athena had number 9 for so long, Melissa with 21, and then 5 with Sarah and 3 with Ryan. And I think it was just like, for them, it's had such a much bigger impact on them than on me. And I felt for them, because I was even upset that I had to leave, but they have been here for all their 4 years, and I was just so heartbreaking for them to like just have it end like this, because we all hated the way the season ended. We didn't deserve to lose to Lakeland. It was just an unfortunate mishap that happened, but it did upset me, obviously, because I was losing a bunch of friends for next year, but I also felt so much more sympathy for them because they have worked so much harder playing constantly. Like I think Ryan and like Evelyn, Athena, they've all been like 3-4 year varsity players, and it was just so heartbreaking for them to see them get so upset over it. So
no, understood. You talked about the physicality, injuries. I mean, I'm wondering, I mean, this sport, I mean, for every sport, it's mental and physical. I'm wondering, just overcoming, there are a lot of bumps and bruises during the course of the season. I'm wondering just how you're able to, approach that, how you were able to cope with that and just, rise above and, and again, excel on that, on the highest level, Elaina.
Yeah, I mean, we did obviously have a lot of injuries, and like with me in the beginning being out, like I've never had stitches before, so that was such a traumatic thing to happen. The first 2 weeks I was already out, and then when I came back, we started playing so many more games back to back that obviously some people got like sore or messed up, because I think Bella has like something wrong with her ankle, so she had some problems with her ankle, which was sucked for us, but she obviously pushed through amazingly. But it's just little things like that, like soreness or like little ankles or bruises. I think that we fully like went into some games like completely injured and sore, but we just didn't care and just threw our whole body into it and just didn't care. So
I'm just wondering, like, you're preparing for a season, like outside of, the team training, said, you individually, like, what your preparation was like, in terms of like, said strength training or just, there's so many components. I was just curious about that, Elaina.
Yeah, I played for a club, so that club is like all year round. So I was doing some practices. We're starting over the summer. I did some camps up at World Class, where I'm from, and at some Orangeburg, New York. I did some of that over the summer, and then I went into high school season. So I started doing like that. So I did like a week of the World Class camp, and then like every so often like miss the World Class camp for practices for high school, and then we slowly got into that, and then the season. So then obviously I was just doing high school every single day because we had practice everyday games for like September, October. And then towards the end of high school season, club started up again. So we started with little practice with that. And then I play club soccer all year round again. And then it starts up again. And then of course I go to college next year. So yeah, it's just like, I live and like breathe soccer, even though I don't always love it at times, but it's like a routine at this point.
I know, it's great. Yeah, my next question was going to be at Riverdale High School. Are there any other sports that you played, or it's been primarily soccer for you, Elena?
No, it's just been soccer, but
Okay.
I've been like Coach Carthage, who coaches track, has been asking my
Yeah.
dad if I can go do track, but I feel like with soccer it's too much. It could help my stamina, but I feel like it's too much. But I
Yeah.
wish I could contribute another way, but it's just not physically possible with my schedule.
No, that's true. I mean, one of my questions was going to be, what makes the game of soccer so special to play in? As you said, you've been training. I mean, I read, in one of the articles, you've been playing since you were 4 years old, and training, you said, with World Class FC in Orangeburg, New York, and the fact that your father coached at Riverdale for 14 years. I mean, talk about that. How, I mean, something like almost like a full circle moment for you. How special that is to have, like, the family, so be such an integral part of Riverdale High School varsity soccer.
I mean, so ever since I was younger, my dad coached the boys soccer before I was even born, and then when I was
Okay.
born, he started when I went to the girls. So I was
Okay.
like, my mom took me to every game. I had like a Riverdale sweatshirt on, and I had like on the back of it, it was like my dad's the coach. I had on the back of it, and it was, and like after every game, I would run over and I would see all the girls, and I would just
Yeah.
like become like they kind of like since they were like so much older than me, they kind of welcomed me as like a little daughter on the
Yeah.
field. So it was like I got the high school experience kind of early,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I would go with them like on the buses with them sometimes to
Yeah.
games, and then I was sat with the seniors at the dinners, and I became like such close friends with them as like, and I was only like 4 or 5 years old at that time. So as I got older, obviously I started to not be with high school as much because I had my other things, but I was still
Hmm.
always around with my dad. And then I became like really close with Rachel Sorkin and Allison Sorkin and Lucy. I still talk to them now. And I've
Hmm.
talked to Rachel about like college stuff and stuff like that. So it just I made so many like little friendships as I got older with
Yeah.
the high school with my dad.
Yeah.
But then my dad coached me for a little bit in club, and we like kind of figured out that that wasn't really gonna work because we don't get along at all when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's when I think he decided to also like step down because he saw it was enough from high school. So he was just gonna support me from the side once I got there. So
Yeah.
and it's like good because he has his state title in the soccer trophy, and then above him is me with my little athlete of the week thing. So it's like the Grenzes are still in the
Yeah.
trophy case forever. So
No, that's fantastic. That's really cool to hear that, those type of stories. I just have a couple more left. I want to ask you, regarding Riverdale High School, the support you've received from students, administration, athletics, especially athletic director Dennis Nelson. Can you talk about that as well, Elena?
yeah, obviously I know Mr. Flanagan, Mr. Pepe,
Hmm.
Mr. Principe, they all
Yeah.
like say hi to me in the hallways and like hi Lena, or like Mr. Pepe always used to come to the game, so he'd be like good game. And Mr. Flanagan was so supportive every day in the hallway. I'd see him, he'd be like, oh, big game today, or like great job yesterday, or
Yeah.
something like that. I just always see me in the hallway, and it
Yeah.
was good. And I would just see people what's it called, I had some kids in my other classes and they would see me and they would come to the games and they'd come up to me and be like good job yesterday or
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's just the support was just so like exciting and overwhelming at the same time.
Yeah.
It was good.
No, I
And
agree. Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just talking about Mr. Nelson.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, with him it was good. He would come to all the games, be there all the time, and always do like the little updates for the emails on the high school. So everyone who like wasn't into really sports stayed involved with all of our sports, which helped more people come to our games. So
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I know you're from River Edge, and always interests me. I said I've asked every athlete this, that you have two towns, River Edge, Oradell, said vice versa, combining to go into one school, even at the middle school. I'm wondering, you talked about the friendships that you've made over the years. Talk about that as well. Like, I think, it's very rare you have two towns, again, uh, being able to forge this type of relationship and be able to, coexist, said on these teams. Just talk about that as well, Elena.
Yeah, I mean, when we were even younger in elementary school, it was like 3 different elementary schools, and I went to preschool with some people and became really close friends with them, but then they had to end up going to Roosevelt for elementary school.
Okay.
But then for middle school, I was like nervous because it was like 3 different schools who haven't been together for a long time coming together all at once. And I
Yeah.
was like nervous. Like obviously I was excited to make new friends, but like
Hmm.
didn't know if things would like change. But I think there was no awkwardness between the two towns, like the 3 schools.
Yeah.
And I think we all became friends really well because like now there's like obviously since we're seniors, there's like no divide. It was like, no, you're Oradell, like River Edge, like stuff like that. Like coming into it, I've known Sarah because we were younger. I used to do Regal basketball with her, and then Evelyn, Ryan, I used to do like club with them when I was like little. And then like Athena, I wasn't really that close with her because I didn't really do any stuff with her, but that like didn't affect our friendship at all. Like she's so sweet, and just like there's no line anymore. Like we're all just like one like team now. So like, and with the friends too, like we're all just like one. So it's good.
It's wonderful to hear. And that's what I was going to ask you, is that growing up, any other sports? I know soccer, so you played basketball as well. Any other
Yeah.
sports that you played? I was just wondering, Galena.
I played soccer forever.
Okay.
I played basketball from first grade to like sixth grade,
Okay.
and then I stopped that. And then I think I played softball like I think 1 or 2 years, like second and third grade, but like that's it.
Okay. You know, one thing that popped into my head is that being a student athlete, I wanted to ask you about that because it's not easy to bounce that out, as you know, especially when you get into high school. So I wanted to ask you, you know, time management, being organized, what you've been, you know, able to do as far as that goes between academics and athletics, Elaina.
Yeah, so obviously it's difficult, but with when it was high school season, I would have to just wait till I was done with everything to get my homework done, which is good because I had a lot of free time after practice. So I would be able to come home and just do all my work, get all my work done, and get to bed at a good time. And then when club started, I didn't have high school anymore, so I had to like wait. That was a little more of a gap because instead of it being right after school, it was either like 5 o'clock from like 5 to like 6:30, and then I had to drive like a half hour home. So it wasn't like till 7 o'clock I got home, or it's like 8 o'clock. I didn't get home till like 10. So I would have to do before, after practice. But I think I've gotten to like the rhythm at this point where I like know when to do it, like know when to not do it. Like if I have to have a practice like 5 and I have to leave at like 4:30, I'll just wait till I get home from that to do my homework instead of rushing a little bit after. So it's gotten to like a rhythm since I've been doing it for like so long at this point. It's like more routine now.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. You know, I was going to ask one of my final questions, but I wanted to ask you about, especially, you know, women in sports, you know, even girls in high school sports. I think it's an important topic and something that I sort of, you know, didn't ask, you know, previous athletes. Well, I want to get your take on it being, you know, said, especially for the, you know, younger generation, you know, said the younger kids out there. And I know that especially college and professional sports now having more of a voice, you know, and platform to, you know, be able to, you know, speak out, like, you know, on issues. And I was wondering, like, you know, just, yeah, what your advice, you know, would be for younger kids and athletes out there, especially, you know, girls out there.
Yeah, obviously, like constantly work hard. If you have a dream, there's no reason that you should never think that you couldn't achieve it. When I was younger, I obviously wanted to be like in the Olympics. I wanted to be a pro soccer player.
Yeah.
But like once you get older, you have to realize obviously there's bigger things than that. But obviously, I still want to play soccer for the rest of my life. But obviously, I can't do that. But it's just always constantly like do your hard work because it will pay off eventually. Like I've been doing soccer forever, and it led me to have such a great high school senior year. So and hopefully going into my future at UNH, hopefully it like all works up to that. So constantly work hard, do everything right, and just don't stop believing, because if you get down on yourself, then it won't work out the way you want.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, is that you are committed to the University of New Hampshire. I mean, talk about that, the process and, you know, what led to, you know, it said University of New Hampshire being the perfect fit, Elaina.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Also, a girl on my club team, Lily Johnson, who plays for Ramapo, she's also going to be joining me on University of New Hampshire, which should be fun because we play in club together, so we'll have a good chemistry already on the field. So I'm excited for that, and I'm also excited to meet all the new girls. They all seem very nice. Coach Wilhelm, he's amazing. He's so nice. I clicked with him right away because like for some college calls I was nervous. But, like with him, he started like with the small talk. He was like, "What movies are you watching on Netflix?" Or like, "What's your favorite food?" He just seemed like such a personable person and just was so nice. And I had like thought in the back of my head, I was like, he's a really nice guy. Like I really like him. And like he would text me and send me emails, and he'd be like, UNH is a great place, in parentheses like underneath it. And it's just like that always stuck in my head now. And he like had certain ways of him that he would be like such a good persuader as to like have me come to the school. And obviously I went up to the campus, and it was just, it's a little cold for me, but the campus is beautiful, and it's such like a naturey type school. Like I
Yeah.
went in the fall, and like all the trees were so pretty, and
Yeah.
like all the people up there are just like so sweet. Like we asked like these college kids like where to go or something, and they didn't seem like bothered to be talking to us. They were like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, this is where that is, this is where that is. So
Hmm.
I'm just, it seems like such a town, like because the beach is 20 minutes away, and there's like a little downtown, there's like all these stores and like convenience stores, like coffee and just like shops.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's such a great fit for me because everything's just so like in one area, and it just seems like a great community, and I've only heard good things about it. So that's what makes me more excited to go there. So
That's terrific. And I wanted to ask you about growing up in River Edge, just, also what makes a town, so special to live in, and just the support from the community as well.
I mean, River Edge is such like I feel like it's a safe town. Like I feel like I
Hmm.
can walk around and stuff and not feel like on edge or anything.
Hmm.
And my dad and my mom both also grew up here.
Okay.
So my dad went to Roosevelt or Oradell, and then my mom went to Cherry Hill. So
Okay.
it's just we've all been here for a while.
Yeah.
So and I just feel like the people that are my grade or in my town, like they're all like so nice. Like I don't like feel any like weird vibes from like anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, like growing up, I'd always like I have Melissa actually Goldstein lives on my street. So
Okay.
we grew up together. So we would always like ride bikes up and down the streets together. And there was another girl in our grade that would always come join us too. And we'd like, and Ryan lives I think like a block over. So she would come over, we'd all like ride our sled, like we would ride on like the hills, and we ride
Yeah.
like sleds and stuff. So it was just like it was a great childhood. And it like sucks that I'm growing up now talking about it because it's like it sucks.
Yeah. I know. And you mentioned your mom. I wanted to ask you, I said about family. I know you talked about your dad, but your mom, if you have any siblings, and just the support from your family, said here at Riverdale High School.
I'm an only child, but
Okay. All right. Same
yeah,
here.
yeah, it's just me. But I have a little cousin that lives 5 minutes away. He's 9, and
Okay.
it's my first cousin. It's my mom's sister's
Okay.
son. So I see my mom watches him every day after because my mom works from home. We have our a family business
Okay.
that my dad runs from his dad. So my mom works from home. So my little cousin, his name's Vander. He comes over all the time,
Okay.
and so he's kind of like my brother. I fight with him all the time, like my brother.
Yeah.
And then my other cousin, her name's Ashley. She's 19. She was kind of like my sister growing up because we'd always have sleepovers. So I was never
Mhm.
like by myself. I always
Yeah.
had somebody to be with, somebody to be around me. So it was good. And my mom, if it was up to my mom, I'd be playing tennis right now, not soccer. My dad won that battle and I played soccer. But she's very supportive. She's always there, always coming to everything with me, even with like clubs, like long distances, because my dad has such a busy schedule since he also coaches teams up at World Class, and he coaches basketball and soccer at Glenrock High School.
Okay.
So he's like very busy with all his teams that he has. So she like always comes with me everywhere. She always comes, and no matter where it is, like 7 hours away or like a 2-hour flight, she'll always just come and join me. And my cousin too, Ashley, Vander's a little too young, but Ashley, she's coming with me to my club tournament in Florida. So it's like very family oriented. Like so but just my family's so supportive of me. So it's great. My grandpa, he lives with me. He's like 80, and he's like my best friend too. So he always comes to all my games and stuff too. So it's just very family oriented, and it's a great support system.
That's beautiful. Okay, Elaina. I said there's a new saying I've come up with. The athlete gets the last word. So for family, friends, classmates, teammates, the administration athletic department, Riverdale High School, excuse me, and the town of River Edge, the floor is yours.
Um, that's a lot of pressure. I mean, I've enjoyed my all of years growing up here, and obviously I'm not going to be in New Jersey anymore. I'll be up in New Hampshire. So it's a big step. It's a big gap for me. It's a big change, obviously. But I'm just so grateful for all the years I had, all the years at Cherry Hill, and then the middle school, and then the high school. I wouldn't change anything except playing all my 4 years of high school. That's the only thing I think I would change. But everything else, I'm happy with what everything turned out. All my friends, everything just turned out really well, and I found like a core group of friends that I have. And then it's just everything turned out really well. Like my boyfriend, he plays at Don Bosco, Massimo Rodeo. He plays at Don Bosco, so it's like I also have him with me. I forgot to mention him. I told him I'd mention him. We play soccer together like all
Yeah.
the time, like because we go to the high school. We'll both kick a ball around since we both play.
Yeah.
So it's just I wouldn't change anything, and I'm happy for my 4 years of high school, and I'm excited for everything that is to come in the future. So.
Awesome. Hey, Elena, just an incredible honor and privilege being able to interview you. Thank you for the opportunity. And again, congratulations on your success on the River Dell Golden Hawks varsity soccer team. And wishing you all the best with graduation in 2022. And then next fall at the University of New Hampshire.
Thank you so much.